The Neolithic Revolution. Imagine a world where every meal depends on what you can hunt, gather, or find before the sun sets. No supermarkets, no farms, no permanent homes, just survival. For most of human history, that was life. Then came one of the greatest turning points in all of human existence, the Neolithic Revolution. This was the moment when humans began to stop wandering and start settling. Instead of always chasing food, they began to grow it. Instead of living as small, mobile hunting groups, they built villages. Instead of depending only on nature, they began to control parts of it. And that changed everything. The Neolithic Revolution happened around 10,000 BCE, after the end of the last ice age. The climate became warmer and more stable. In many regions, wild grasses and animals became more abundant. Humans began to notice a powerful truth. If they planted seeds near where they lived, they could produce food more reliably. If they kept and bred animals, they could have a steady supply of meat, milk, wool, and labor. This was the beginning of agriculture. At first, it was slow and uncertain. People did not suddenly become farmers overnight. They experimented, they observed, they failed, they tried again. Over time, they learned how to cultivate wheat, barley, rice, millet, and maize in different parts of the world. They domesticated animals such as goats, sheep, cattle, pigs, and later horses. This shift may sound simple, but it was revolutionary, because once humans could produce food, they no longer had to move constantly in search of it. They could stay in one place. That led to permanent settlements. Villages appeared. Houses became more solid. Storage pits were built. Pottery was invented to keep grain and water. Tools improved, especially polished stone tools, sickles, grinding stones, and digging sticks. Life became more organized. But the Neolithic Revolution was not only about farming. It was about a complete transformation in human society. When food production increased, population grew. More children could survive because communities had more reliable food supplies. Families became larger. Settlements became bigger. Over time, some villages turned into towns. With permanent life came new social structures. People began to divide labor. Some farmed, others made tools, pottery, or clothing. Some led religious rituals. Some defended the settlement. This specialization made society more complex. Surplus food also changed power. Whoever controlled the grain controlled the people. As a result, inequality began to appear more clearly. Some families accumulated more land, animals, and resources than others. Leadership became more formal. Social classes slowly emerged. The world was no longer just about survival. It was becoming about organization, ownership, and authority. Religion also changed. Early farming communities often developed spiritual beliefs connected to fertility, harvest, rain, and the cycles of nature. People depended deeply on the earth, so they honored it. Rituals, symbols, and sacred spaces became part of community life. Yet this new way of life had a cost. Farming was harder in many ways than hunting and gathering. It required long hours of labor, clearing land, planting, watering, protecting crops, and storing harvests. Diets could become less varied. Living close together made disease spread more easily. Conflict over land and water became more common. Settled life brought progress, but it also brought tension. So the Neolithic Revolution was not simply a happy story of advancement. It was a trade-off. Humans gained control, but they also gained new burdens. Still, its impact was immense. Without the Neolithic Revolution, there would have been no large cities, no written laws, no empires, no modern states, and no industrial civilization. Farming created the surplus that allowed civilization to grow. It laid the foundation for trade, government, technology, and every complex society that followed. In many ways, the Neolithic Revolution was the beginning of the world we live in today. It was the moment human beings stopped merely surviving in nature and began reshaping nature itself. And that single change altered the course of history forever.